It's raining now, hallelujah. Hello everyone and welcome to round 12 of the NEF1 Championship, and I do apologize about my dreadful singing, but I do love me a little bit of rain. We are here for the Hungarian Grand Prix, the first Hungarian Grand Prix in quite a little while in NEF1 as well, and it is very much raining in qualifying at least, and we'll see what conditions will be like for the Grand Prix. But this kind of throws a spanner in the works, doesn't it? This'll be absolutely fantastic. Let's see then who is able to deliver in these kinds of conditions. And you'd have to assume Luna will be right out there, a recently crowned one-time NEF1 winner in the rain in Abu Dhabi for the Mystery Grand Prix. It's always going to do well in conditions like these. We'll wait and see what goes on now then. So then, welcome back to New Era F1 Esports after a 1 week break since last time out in Italy that saw Squidge 2017 take his third victory of the season and a maximum points haul for himself as well, only missing out on the fastest lap in the end. But sprint race victory and Grand Prix victory sees him rejuvenated in the Drivers' Championship standings and past Matty Adam for the first time in many weeks. We're on board with Noah 48 now in his Aston Martin, which talking about Aston Martin is just a bit awkward now, isn't it? We'll just skip the topic for the time being. Mercedes, however, slightly more positive in terms of real life. Obviously, we'll be following along with Mackers and SR Halo closely this round, and Mackers especially having been on very much of an upswing of form throughout the entirety of this season. Last week beat Tess out to a podium on the final lap as well. Can he do something similar to that in these conditions? We shall wait and see, but hopefully we have a fully wet qualifying then. Maybe a dry Grand Prix would be quite interesting. Overtaking around here not going to be easy, I can assure you of that. We welcome back Recon from the United States of America as well, and he'll be back racing in the Williams. So welcome back Recon, hopefully we had a good one. And then on board with our current Drivers' Championship leader Tess in a what looks like a very much Lewis Hamilton inspired helmet, that black purple with the white logo on top. Looks very much like the BLM helmet that Hamilton used to run back in, I don't know if it was 20 or 21, it was one of them, where ran a helmet very similar to this one. As Halo already saying, he's hating the rain, which is I would imagine it's a bad sign of things to come for the Mercedes driver, but positivity everyone. It is going to be very funny here tonight. So everyone just be positive, be glad. We'll see what's what come the end of this event. I do apologize as well, I haven't spoken English in a week. So it might be a little bit rusty until I get going. It might take a couple of minutes or so. But Luna then pops in with a 128.285 as Kit gets caught on the curb and almost has a little moment as a result of it. So I believe he's just about to run to the back of Kit, I can just see. That'll be the Red Bull of Tess. Now that'll be the Red Bull of Iwatts flying by. So Luna right now in a second lap faster than Noah. We'll see what Tess can come up with in these kinds of conditions. Looks like it's a pretty fast lap. It's going to be quicker than that 28.2. No, it won't. 28.724. And Luna is the fastest out of anyone so far. Tiger Octave will be next across the line. Along with Matty Adam, it goes 28.4, and Tiger Octave will go 31.5. Full lap from Tiger Octave, who's had a difficult couple of weeks in that Alpine. We'll see if we can get going this evening. And if we could have a weather report for the Grand Prix as well, that would be absolutely splendid. So then on board with Holman as well in his Sauber, as well as Darren Iwatts and Mr. Wilco, who are lining up the rear at the moment. Iwatts goes 6th fastest, 29.9. Ray goes 6th fastest, just afterwards. 29.8 there, about half a second slower than Mac is at 29.3 as Luna improves further to a 27.766. As for Matty Adam, he's not improving on this lap, just doing a recharge, you would imagine, opting to go again. As then the difficult track conditions continues, and for Mr. Wilco, he can only muster up at 31 flat. He's got Octave and Recon behind him. Where we got Lucas Holvan, a driver who's given a little bit, but definitely more to show in the potential of that Racing Bulls for the remainder of the season, as he just started to get a bit more warm to the league. And starting to get used to battling with a couple of the drivers. Got his teammate right ahead of him as well. Might just not quite help him out in these final couple of corners. Provide a little bit of dirty air, but we'll see. It's not really going to help him out on the start-finish straight at all, because it's a very, very short run down to the line. So then, Lucas Hall is going to come across for about a 130 flat. 129.8 was the final time. That places him ahead of iWatts, just behind Ray 25, and Squidge, who was very, very good last week out, only musters up at 29.666. And it is is that the standard Ferrari livery for the first time in a long time? Yes, it is. It's not the standard Ferrari livery for Kit, and we say good job to Ferrari for messing up with the liveries for the first time in NEF1 history, and seeing how Kit's run the one that they've confirmed they're going to be running all season. We say congratulations to Squidge for messing it up. Well done, NEF1 admin. But it is a bit different seeing that all red Ferrari once again. It's a bit nostalgic almost. As here goes Noah for 28.363 then, as Matty is trying to follow through. So we're going to see what he's able to do. 28.4 is his best time so far. As he goes fastest out of anyone with a 27.669. These conditions suited to Matty Adams' liking. We've got a field spread of about 10 seconds at the moment. Looking down to Kit W41 as Holman is about to come across the line. Goes 30.5 and just outside the top 10, but it's about half a second down, a little bit more actually, on iWatts in 10. Fast for Kit, he's improving by over 5 second sector. So I'd imagine then it's not a 10-second pace deficit, more something like maybe a 3 or 4 second pace deficit by the look of things through the third sector. We'll wait and see what kind of a time he can muster up. 27 flat coming out of final corner. That puts him on trail for a 30.6, and that's good enough for P13. Decent, but he can easily find another 10.42 in that final sector, if not more, and that'll put him up ahead of Holman, just behind Halo in 10th. That's an impressive lap from iWatts as well. 28.9 ahead of Lucas Oil, ahead of Mackers, and ahead of Squidge 2017. Reigning champion then, trying to recover his championship campaign in hopes to go for a second one. No driver in NEF1 have won 2 consecutive championships, and that trend looks like it's remaining even through season 11 still, which is a mental fact to say. Only one driver has ever won more than one title in NEF1, and that is Djokovic, who sadly is not racing here tonight. Luna then on a second set of intermediates, trying to just improve a little bit. Matt is in the pit lane, just carried in, as we can see on the right hand side of the screen. As Max has improved a little bit to a 28.133, as Tiger Octave currently sitting last in the running van on a 31.5. Oh, it's aggressive revving there from Kit. Looks like he's trying to start this year's Ferrari, but the last year's Ferrari. A little bit of mistake on the shift there, going down to first gear, and then for whatever reason I can't get the car to shift at all. That'll be the end of the run for Kit W41. We'll see what he can muster up in the second one. With 8 minutes to go, so about half the session remaining, then. It's a long way still to go. It's a lot of driving still to be done. SSR Halo's improving by just under a second in the second sector alone, so he's on pace for a decent 28 potentially if he can improve at the same rate through this third sector. That'll put him up alongside Squidge and iWatts. As Test now goes fastest, 27.4, significant advantage that on both Matty, Noah and Luna. As Halo then goes between Squidge and iWatts, just a couple of hundredths back from Squidge. Still a decent position for a Halo who was not looking forward to conditions like these. At the moment he's about 8 tenths behind his teammate, but it's a teammate who is very, very quick all throughout the season. As then riding along with Luna, Wet Weather Master through the last couple of corners, and the amount of grip she carries into a couple of these stands, it's actually quite astounding, and the way she exits them is even more astounding. Just able to throw the car in there, almost like it looks like it's dry conditions, just catching the slides beautifully. As Luna goes P2, 27.560, it's a very, very good lap, but not quite good enough for provisional P1. We are starting to see a dry line form. It's not good enough for dry tires as of yet, and I don't think it will be, but definitely not that intermediate field that she would be hoping for. Matty actually going out wide, trying to just find a little bit of that wet surface, trying to cool down the tires a little bit for this straight, I'm sure. Those tires are now going to be boiling heading into turn 1 as this Williams coming out of the pit lane. As traction down here, incredibly difficult towards turn 2 and turn 3. Turn 2, this sweeping left-hander, not really an overtaking zone unless the car view ahead of you makes a mistake. Then turn 3, all but a small little right-hand kink. Turn 4 and 5, very, very fast left-hander of turn 4 before turn 5, which is this inside curve that looks like it's concrete on this game. Has been the death of many a driver in league racing previously. That's a very, very tight and twisted game before you get to this kind of S section, really, where you're never really braking, but you're never flat out either. Just doing throttle management, really, at this point, trying to carry as much speed with you as you can. Look, relatively tidy that for Matty. He's improving by 6.5 tenths of a second so far, and is well on his way to provisional pole position. As Tiger Lewis is complaining about his grip levels previously, that Tiger Octave, for anyone not engaging with us on Twitch too much. Not really liking the way the track feels at the moment. It's reflecting in his position on track as Matty goes 26.751. It's incredibly fast from Matty out of that. Squidge improved to 27.9. As qualifying is already actually coming to a wrap here. 4 minutes 22 go. Is Ray coming around the fast lap? You would imagine so, just looking at the times. He's not coming in, so should be the end of another decent improvement for him. He's 24 seconds coming out of the final corner. Should see him on pace for 27.6 P4 for Ray. Just behind a currently in the pit lane Luna. So Van Mackers 97, currently sitting in P8. He's up and down throughout this qualifying session, really. 3 minutes to go. That'll be 2 competitive laps at the end of this session. Intermediate tires on for the entire run. I don't think anyone's daring dries yet. No, it'll be intermediate to the end. Surely no one's bold enough to go for dries in these conditions. So Mackers then is going to complete this lap, do a cool lap, and then go once more at the end. What kind of time can he muster up as we're approaching the middle part of the second sector now? Just coming into the ending path as well. It's an abandoned lap that from Akis with a little bit of mistake in VSS. Gets overtaken by the Aston Martin of Noah. Doing a good job this qualifying session. He's improving by 0.3 of a second through sector 2. So Noah 48 rounds these final two 180-degree corners. Very, very awkward section to drive. If it were me, you just remove it and you have a 90-degree right-hander to start the... or to finish off the lap, but that would be a bit too easy maybe. As Noah goes P2 with 127.234, still half a second off Matty, but very much close in the gap as Tess closed it even further with a 27 flat. So he's approaching Matty at a rate of knots. What can Luna do on a brand new set of intermediate tires, you would imagine? Yes indeed. That lap from Noah as well set on 6 lap Oldent, so there might be time in that lap, but he won't have time to begin and find it. As we're on board with Mac, then for I would imagine is going to be his last run at it. Kit's advanced up to P12 as Matt is improved on a 26.350 and he extends the gap even further out front, and now you would imagine only Luna might have the minerals to challenge, potentially Squidge or Tess, but focuses on Luna at the moment to provide challenge for pole position here. We'll wait and see. Matty are enjoying these half intermediate conditions, you should probably say. Marcus Van, is he feeling the wake of the car ahead? Just getting a bit slidey coming out of the final corner, but this is the last we'll see for Marcus. P6 is the best he can do, improves by slightly less than half a second. As Luna now coming across traffic on her lap as well. That's disastrous for Luna, getting blocked by Darren Style there. Darren, who I don't know if he's on a competitive lap or not. I think he is, meaning he is not obliged to let the Alpine behind by. Darren is on a competitive lap, which is why he's not letting the Alpine go. Luna makes a very silly move, Luna, and that will be penalized after the race. Oh, as that has ruined Darren's chance of improving in this qualifying session as well. He was up by quite a significant amount as well. It's ruined Luna's lap. But he got caught behind Darren at the wrong moment, was unable to play it patient, didn't really have any time to play patient, but has screwed herself over there. Matty Adam, you would imagine, is going to take pole position. Beatty gets within half a second at least, and right now is on the front row. Is Tez going to be able to challenge in these final couple of turns? He's improving by a 10.5 through sector 2, and this is going to be close at the end. Noah, where's he going to place himself now? Just coming across the line. Is it going to be good enough for the front row for the time being? Yes, it is. Pushes Beatty down to P3. Tess is just going to come around their final corner. Ray is out of contention here. It is Tess or Matty. Matty takes pole position by half a 10th of a second in the end over Tess. Noah finishes P4 with a Beatty resurgent in 4th place. Ray finishes this qualifying session in 5th, with Lucas Hall with an NEF1 best, I think, in 6th place. Luna in P7, followed by Mac in 8th, Iwat in 9th, and Squidge P10. For the championship hopeful, it's a disastrous qualifying for the Ferrari outfit. P10 and P17, and a very tricky time. As Star Halo just outside the top 10, followed by Mr. Wilco, Recon, Holman, Octaf. 1980s Wildcat out qualifying Kit, and Darren Style was meant for more this qualifying session, but was interrupted there at the end of his run. As Tess reportedly with some sort of an issue on his lap, costing him a little bit of time, but we shall wait and see what kind of time he's able to find during the Grand Prix. But there you go. The final qualifying position is as follows. Matty from Tess, from Noah, Beatty and Ray. that is your top 5 for the Hungarian Grand Prix. So then, we'll be going to a break for a couple of minutes before we get this underway again. So just stay patient, stay with us. We'll be back in about 5-6 minutes time for the Hungarian Grand Prix. We shall be right back. Okay, everyone, I can confirm that now the ready up has been given. We'll be racing in 30 seconds time there, or give or take about 30 seconds. Something like that. 35 laps around the Hungarian then in dry conditions in a lovely, lovely sunset setting as well. Lighting's looking brilliant here as we're about to go over the starting grid with you once again then. And starting tyres, because that's a bit more important this time around. Matti on pole position for the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's ever so crucial. Overtaking around here is not going to be easy. Tess in P2 followed by Noah in P3 on the mediums. Then we have A33 BT, highest starting position of the season if I'm not mistaken. He is starting on medium tyres in P4. Ray starting on mediums P5. Lucas Hull in 6th, followed by Luna in 7th. Not the best qualifying for her regarding the track conditions, but we'll see what kind of Grand Prix she can have. Still a decent position to be in. Followed by Mac as multiple time podium sitter this season. Followed by Iwas and Squidge. SR Halo still looking for his first massive result in the F1. Could it come today with a surprise result here around the Hungarian? We'll see. Mr. Wilco Recon in 13th, followed by Holman, who's going to be joining as soon as the race has started. He's starting in 14th, followed by Octave, Wildcat, Kit, and Darren Stahl. Starting tyres is up on the left-hand side of your screen. We have 3 outliers: Luna, Halo, and Wilco. Hard tyres for them. Everyone else is opting to go yellow wall medium tyres for the start of this Grand Prix. I think it's a good choice in hindsight. Should be a 2-stop race. Very, very aggressive weaving there from Matty Adam 98. Speaking about 2-stop races, next week out we are going back to Spa for the first time a little bit as well. That'll be the second mandatory 2-stop race of the season as well, so you don't want to miss out on that one. Spa-Francorchamps in about a week's time in NEF1, but now we are focusing on the Hungarian. The Hungarian Grand Prix is coming right up. Matty on pole, Tess in P2. Matty has a chance now to start slowly fighting back in the Drivers' Championship, but is it a little bit too late? We shall wait and see. Darren lined it up on the rear of the field as we're about to get going here for the Hungarian Grand Prix. 35 laps worth of racing action is coming right up, and it's lights out and away we go, and Matty does get a decent drive of the line. A little bit of battery deployment, but Tess is right there on the inside through turn 1 as well. Is he going to go for a little bit of a diving move? Yes, he does. Down the inside of Matty Adam, who has the inside for turn 2, though, and that is going to be ever so crucial, who will just keep the lead of the Grand Prix from Tess. And then BT has been able to get through on Noah. Luna with a good start up, 2 positions on both Ray, and you would imagine Lucas Hull, I believe, has dropped the position on Iwatts. Good start from Tiger Octave, up 5 positions, up to P10 already. He had a good run for the first couple of corners, and Kit up 2 positions. Big losers is Holman and Mackers. Lucas Hull down 2 positions as well. Mackers especially with a disappointing getaway here, but Matty Adam was able to just hold on to the lead. How crucial could that be come the end of this race? 35 laps, and we're expecting a bit of a different type of race than we've seen throughout this season. We have position swaps basically at will. Might not quite be the case here tonight. Matty Adam trying to just push away a little bit. Say 33 BT trying to keep the pressure on Tess right now. He is running in a podium position for, I believe, the first time this season in that Racing Bulls. And oh, how they would need that points all. Oh, how they need it. Matty Adam, 22.8, his fastest lap at the Grand Prix so far. We're expecting to see a lap record broken. Here's a long time ago that we went racing at competitive speeds in dry around Hungary. So we expect to see that record broken within a lap or 2, basically. So then ABT 1 second down on Tess now. Not quite unexpected, but I'm looking forward to see with the RS if Tess can actually mount a decent offensive now on Matty Adam early in this race. As now we have Holman in the lobby as well, as he attempts to make a diving move down the inside of Kid into the chicane. I can tell you that's never going to work. But the frustrations of this circuit is that there are so many places where you kind of want to overtake, but you just can't. So I believe someone's had an issue. That is Noah, who's stuck facing the wall on the worst possible moment on the circuit. And that is Noah down into Plum last without a front wing as well. And you don't usually see that kind of mistake from Noah, but he'll be facing an upwards battle to score points in this race then. Fast lap once again to Matty Adam, and Tess gets nowhere near him on that first DRS straight. This second one, you've got to be ever so careful as to when you activate the DRS around here, as the activation zone is before you even get the power down really, but overtaking into turn 2, not really an option unless you're already alongside through turn 1. Tiger Octave then is continuing his strong show of pace right now, up from P15 to P7, all within 3 laps time. 8 positions up. So holy shit, Tiger Octave has some good pace around here, as in relations to his qualifying pace. Dry conditions just seem to work a little bit better for him. We do see some clouds around the circuit. I do wonder if we might be in for a race with changeable conditions here as well. Very hard to tell this early on, as Ray's trying to put the pressure on Iwat at the moment, as Matty and Tess has run away with this in unexpected fashion. Let's see then if Ray does have the minerals to try something on Iwatts into turn 1. I believe he's going to get that move done when we get to the braking zone. It's a good overtake that from Ray. But it gets very snappy on the exit of turn 1. That's what I was just talking about. You've got to be very careful when opening the rear wing. You do that just as you're getting throttled down. Luna as well has had a very good start to this Grand Prix, up to 4th place, and now hunting down BT for 3rd. So then, it's a good week for both Racing Bulls at the moment. It's a very good week from McLaren, who right now are outscoring Red Bull by a significant chunk of points, and they're involved with each other in that Constructors' Championship battle. So that could pay dividends late on this season, as we still have 5 races to go, if I'm not mistaken, after this one. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. 6 races go after this one even. So long way still to go, about 200 points to compete for in the Drivers' Championship if you have maximum delivery as well. As long with Squidge 2017, as Luna's gone very wide trying to make an overtake on a free BT, as Tiger Octave now losing position on Iwatts. Trying to reclaim it, that's Tiger past Iwatts, into 6th place. Looking back further, we have Squidge 2017 in P8. He had an interrupted qualifying session with a moment as Lucas Hull, I believe, lost control of his car through sector 1. Squidge had an interrupted final run with the Luna and Darren incident we were on board with, and that is costing him a lot of seconds behind Iwatts and Octave right now. Unable to get by in that Ferrari as well. This might be one of those afternoons that Squidge is just gonna want to forget pretty soon. Right now it's business as is for Matty, Adam and Tess, as Tess just unable to try to find a way by. Matty sturdy in defense. As here we go, then Luna on A33 BT. BT covering the inside. Luna will have to go the long way round. Is she going to be able to do that? She'll have a decent line going into turn 2. Does that wide line work? No, it does not. And Luna and BT collide. Was that perhaps the effect of Luna opening the rear wing, just losing the traction? But oh, as BT finally running within a podium position, and he has an incident like that occur. Oh no, how did that incident happen? Very, very late on around that corner as well, and BT is gonna be screaming, crying out, why can't he ever have a fucking good race result? He's gonna be within his chain of thinking right now. Poor BT. We'll await and see what happens, but right now Luna still in P5 with a damaged front wing. Though it's not a viable option running with a damaged front wing around here. You can already see losing massive amounts of time to Octaf ahead and iWatt behind. That front wing will have to be replaced, but especially for A33 BT, it is heartbreak for the Racing Bulls, who is running comfortably in a high points paying position, if not a podium position as well for the rest of the Grand Prix. Now it has all gone very, very sideways. Tess might be able to make a move on Matty here for the lead of the Grand Prix. No, we're already past turn 1. By the time I'm looking at that, we're approaching the final corner with the car I was just on board with, which is why I thought it was perhaps an overtaking making. However, that's played out beautifully for AW25, who's found himself in a podium position and 2.6 seconds ahead of Tiger Octaf, next car in contention. Luna's actually getting along quite decently without that front wing end plate, so we'll see how the Alpines play this. iWatt and Squidge coming up behind as A33 BT in the pit lane, and new front wing, and he has pace. You would imagine hard ties going on that Racing Bulls. Let's see how he can recover anything from this race. I think a points finish is still on for BT here if he can get his head down and get a little bit lucky with maybe a safety car interruption at the right time. So the Mercedes boys, P8 and 9, Mackers and SR Halo battling away with Wilco and Squidge. And you're just seeing a little bit of movement from both Max and Halo there. Running in formation at the moment. Halo just having a little cheeky look at Max's inside right tyre. But it wasn't to be in turn 1, if nothing else, isn't to be in turn 2 as well. It's a little bit of a train from Octaf down to Mr. Wilco right now. And something like this could actually be advantageous to someone like A33 BT in the long run. Everyone just being held up a little bit by, you would imagine, Octaf seemingly not with the best of pace at the moment, but then Luna's front wing M played as well, and she's going to be one to go long on this stint as well. She's going to be slow at the end of it, and that could be a BT's chance to still pull something out of this Grand Prix. So it is not over yet, even though it seems very, very dark for our friend BT right now. As Matty Adams always almost got away from Testa, who just stays within DRS detection range by about 9.5 tenths of a second as we went across the activation line. Now it's 6.6 seconds, but a little bit of mistake from Tess pushes that gap down a little bit further, and Matty has this race firmly in control at the moment. Luna makes a diving move down the inside of Octaf into turn 4, and now it'll be interesting to see if Luna can start pulling away a little bit from Tiger Octaf behind and start creating that gap between the Alpines. Those hard tyres should be in a decent operating window right now as compared to the mediums. But does that take the front wing damage into account? Is Luna still going to be able to pull away with that wing damage that is going to cause high degradation as well? Keep that in mind. There's narrow imbalance, which is just going to make the car a little bit unsettled and wear down, especially the rear tyres a little bit more, but the fronts as well. Recon picks himself up 3-second time, put the track limit warnings. Kit already has one previously. Mr. Wilco moves about just before the braking zone, just trying to force Halo to do something to make a little bit of a mistake, but nothing working for Mr. Wilco quite then. In that Sauber for the final couple of times in this league. Ah, hello Amrena, how are you doing? I am doing brilliantly. I do miss having you in the league, obviously. We'll have to sort something out for next season. Try to find some sort of way to get you back. But it is going very, very well. We have unfortunately though had a massive collision between Luna and ABT, which has massively affected the outcome of this race for the time being. But Matty doing a brilliant job at the moment of controlling this Grand Prix. It's been about a second clear of Tess most laps this Grand Prix. Tess is just managing to hang on to that DRS range. But as for them, they're pulling away about a second lap on Ray and Luna behind. So it is a very, very decent race indeed, as we're about a third of the way through. Lap 10 out of 35, so a little over a quarter. As Tiger Octave, mind you, that's a very, very good first stint. 10 positions up. He's been helped by the fact that both BT, Lucas and Noah have lost significant amount of positions. But still had a very, very hard job to do, and he's done it beautifully, as we have a problem for a Haas that beat Darren Style by process of elimination tonight, as no Wiggins Racing here this evening, as iWatts goes ahead of Squidge, who I believe makes a little mistake, and now being passed by Halo, maybe Mr. Wilco as well, trying around the outside of the reigning champion. He's going to pull that off. I believe Squidge is just going to be a bit naughty in the fence, maybe. Needs to hang on to that position for Ferrari's Constructors' hopes as well, but it's starting to look dark for the Scuderia at this point. Matty Adam 5 tenths ahead of Tesla, starting to close in a little bit. How much in control is Matty of this situation? How in control is Luna? 7.2 seconds back from Ray, not challenging for a podium at the moment. That podium spot is falling right into Ray's hands with every single lap this is going on. But I don't think Luna really cares, so it's all about maximizing points for Alpine in the constructors' fight with both Sauber and Mercedes especially. They're separated by only a couple of points between P6 and P8? P5, P6 and P7, sorry, in the Constructors' Championship. As iWatts pulls the trigger then relatively early for a pit stop, 12 out of 35, but that's going to trigger an undercut that could be critical in order to get by even Luna and Tiger Octave out in front. What tire goes on the Red Bull? It is hard tires to maybe try to go to the end, but it's very, very long way still to go. As a Marina, that is lovely, lovely to hear, and we await it with great anticipation. So here we go then, let's stick on with iWatts for this little out lap then. See if he goes a little bit tire preservation mode, or do you push then and try to get up to that 4th place with Luna going long? It's a good opportunity for an undercut really if you're in a position of iWatts, for example. You're stuck in a little bit of train you can't get out of, get yourself out of it. The cars in front of the train are driving slow. We can see that from Luna's pace on Ray, who's driving slow compared to Tess as well. So Luna and Tiger Octave doesn't quite have the pace. Ray now pits as well, so a bit iffy on that one. He'll need to come out in some clear air, but he'll do that. He'll come out between the red... Oh, sorry. He'll come out between the Sauber and the Ferrari coming through the final couple of corners now. But it is a good opportunity for iWatts to pitch. Ray and Holman then into the pit lane. Holman coming in behind. Zamrina, have a good evening. You you as well, but I'll speak to you shortly, hopefully. Have a good one, buddy. Watts then comes out 7.4 seconds behind Ray, but that's not the gap we're keeping an eye on. He's going to be closing the gap on Luna, Halo, Octave soon, as Halo's made his way by Octave actually, and up at a P4, so it's a good opportunity for the Mercedes to try to pull ahead a little bit, make something of this Grand Prix. Yellow flags coming out of the final corner, and that is Lucas Hall, who isn't having the best of days. Noah free some time penalty for track limits. He's trying to get himself back into contention here. So I believe the Williams are also having a little bit of difficulty in P15 and 17 respectively. We'll see what they're able to do of it. Oh, as now it's a critical stage to Grand Prix as well. Tess pulls the trigger early on lap 14 out of 35. Tries an undercut on Matty Adam, isn't able to overtake on track. Now then, does Matty box immediately, or does he count on Tess perhaps getting stuck in traffic with the likes of Mr. Wilco for a lap? And could this be the opportunity that Matty needs then in order to pull away slightly? Tess needs to get by, he can't get by, meaning now he'll probably be stuck behind Wilco for a lap. And that could allow Matty to just be able to get into the pit lane and get out just ahead of Tess then. The undercut didn't really work when you caught in a position like this. And for Tess, this will be ever so frustrating, not being able to perform the undercut, and maybe the one chance he'll have. He's gonna go for an overtake here, but he runs out of room. Mr. Wilco not willing to let this one go all too easily. Could there also be a bit of previous teammate affection? Who knows? Matty and Mr. Wilco have been teammates in the past, but that was a long time ago in NEF1. There's no reason to get involved really for Mr. Wilco. But this is losing Tess time. Valuable time. So where does he come out? Where does Matty come out in relations to Tess, who's now just approaching the pit lane exit? It's actually going to be very close between them, but Matty will come out ahead, but just ahead. And that was crucial for Matty Adam. The Tess got stuck behind Mr. Wilco, or this race could have had a very difficult or very different ending to it. But right now, overtaking for these front runners, incredibly difficult. As for Watts, I believe he made the right choice by pitting. As you can see, Tess just gaining such an incredible amount of time, even though Mr. Wilco stuck behind, or he was stuck behind Mr. Wilco. Tess still gaining time on Matty Adam, Halo, and Luna ahead. So that undercut clearly very effective. Matty now is the question, when is he going to be able to pass Halo and Luna? And will Tess be able to follow him through straight away, or is Matty going to use that opportunity? He's on medium tires, Matty, as well. So they're going split strategies, Matty and Tess. I didn't notice that at first. Matty will have to make use of those medium tires to do something, though, and that's a big part, potentially, of what is to come. As Matty now... that's a ghost car of Lucas Hall, potentially, as we have a virtual safety car. As Matty hereby loses the opportunity to have a move at Luna, but as for Tess, this means he gets stuck behind SSR Halo for another lap, unable to overtake, and this could be just what Matty Adam needs on that medium tire to try to make something on this stint. I'm surprised Matty didn't match Tess in terms of tire, really, opting to just have track position. Next time out, Tess is going to box onto medium tires unless he makes the end of the race on these boots, which is a possibility. But next time out, Tess is going to have medium tires. Matty cannot let himself be undercut when that happens. Naturally, he should pit ahead, but it'll be a very difficult strategic battle between the two indeed, regardless of what happens. So, Luna, Matty, Halo, Tess, Mr. Wilco is the running order inside the top 5. But a lot of these cars haven't pitted yet. It's split strategies for everyone. We'll find out what the actual running order is come the end of this race, as Lucas Hull, do not use the ghosting to impede other drivers, please. Even if you do have the pace, drive around them and then go disappear down the road. Don't interfere with the battles too much. You have been lapped. So then Luna and Matty Adam rounds the first corner, as Matty's able to clear the Alpine in a relatively efficient fashion, and is Tess going to be able to clear the Alpine as well? Yeah, that front wing end plate is hurting, and now blue flags are showing for Lucas Hull, who thinks isn't able to clear Matty. Lucas, you're going to have to give up that position. So then Lucas on soft tires, wanting to get on with it, but not having the pace to unlap himself and pull away. Matty Adam then leads this race by 0.6 of a second from Tess in P2, with Luna in P3 almost already 2.5 seconds behind. That's a lap. So it is very, very noticeable the tire difference between Matty, Tess and Luna on the worn hard tires. Here we go then. Ray on Luna. Is this going to be a relatively simple move? I believe so. I don't think Luna's going to fight it too hard either. It's a move that's always been coming. Way this race has been going, and Ray is doing a tremendous job this Grand Prix, and it's up at the third place once again. It's where he was before he pitted, is where he is now. And as for Iwat, how has the strategy come out? He is currently running P4 if you disregard from the people who have yet to pit. Which I think is absolutely relevant to the equation. So then the mediums of Matty Adam, will he be able to use those tires to pull away? If not, there's no real effect of having them on. But Tess is struggling just that little bit more perhaps to follow with. Matty then, DRS detection zone is coming up. It's just ahead of the final corner. Is he going to be able to pull a second on Tess? Oh, I believe Tess just got it down to 983 as he went over the detection line, and DRS is enabled once again. Fastest lap from Matty Adam, who is doing everything to pull away, but Tess just doing what he can to stick with the McLaren. As long as Tess keeps doing this, then it'll be roles reversed in a couple of laps time when Tess goes into the pit lane once again for mediums, and Matty's going to have to defend on a set of hards. He'll have no choice unless he can go onto soft tires to the end. Soft tires at the moment for Lucas Hull have gone 4 laps into this Grand Prix, but I don't know how they perform in an actual racing scenario. This is turning into a relatively fun Hungarian Grand Prix. Holman is at the back of Mackers, just on the fringes of the points. We've not really seen Holman too much this Grand Prix. Obviously, he's had an issue after qualifying, means he started outside the race. Which wasn't really a benefit to him, let's just say that, but didn't get tangled up in any incidents as a result of it. And now free to chase after Mackers and Tiger Octave, who has fallen behind a little bit this Grand Prix with some sort of strategy call that didn't quite work out for her. As the cautions were briefly out there in Sector 3 for a little bit, I believe Tess now is just starting to close in the gap on Matty ever so slightly. Those medium tires, do they fall off relatively quickly? Matty's so close to breaking the DRS on Tess. Had he done so, this might be a bit different, but Tess is absolutely relentless. Lucas Hull is out of this race, retired in the pit lane. That is the end of his Hungarian Grand Prix. What is his teammate going to be able to do? A 33 BT. Man who was running in a podium position just a little while ago. as the battle out front keeps on developing. What I'm a bit curious of, overcast conditions are getting darker and darker. Has Matty perhaps gone on to medium tires because he is expecting a stint of rain at the end of this Grand Prix? Does he therefore thinking just go medium until that patch of rain comes and then defend off that? When rain falls and they have to go into intermediate tires, then of course you don't have to run two different sets of dries anymore. It'll be enough with just mediums, and then intermediates. Is that the strategy Matty's going for here? If we do have any rainfall, if we don't, it's a strategy that's not going to work quite so well. And Tess has kind of covered his bases a little bit. Obviously, if we do have rain, whoever's P1 is favourite, with the odds slightly tipped in Matty's favour. Maybe even if Tess is able to undercut him briefly. Has Noah 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. The race has gone from bad to worse for our Maltese friend, I'm afraid. As a new front wing has to go on that Aston Martin as well. So, and if we do have a patch of rain, as he had a collision with Kit, by the way, potentially, who just did the same thing. The race just got a bit more interesting because here comes Tess on Matty Adam as well into turn 1. It's side by side through turn 2 as well, and now crucial for Matty to hang on, and he just does so. But Tess aggressive in attack, Matty stubborn in defense, just holding on there, but by the skin of his teeth as Tess goes wide, and that will allow Matty a lap or two of breathing room, and the advantage that but the momentum that Tess had just built up just disappeared ever so slightly with that mistake, and now Matty is a second clear. It always takes a couple of corners to get rid of a mistake like that in your head as well, especially around a confidence circuit like this one. And now it's Tess who needs to rebound, get himself back in check and start attacking once more. But that could be a huge moment in the Hungarian Grand Prix. Yellow flags coming up in the next sector. But Matty Adam, for the first time, has a 1 second advantage in this Grand Prix. We're past half race distance, but still got 13 laps to go. Oh my god, that's a gap as well. Ray 15 seconds ahead of Luna, who is yet to pit as well, I believe. 21 lap old tires. She's on lap 22, about to come on to lap 23. So, Luna trying something very, very different here. Are these hard tire runners just trying to hold on to a wet part of the race? Is the question. Oh, as Luna aggressively down the inside of Halo as well, is unable to control it and forces Halo out of the way somewhat. I didn't have a great view of that. That might be one of those that's investigated after the race as well. And now we do have rainfall at the Hungaroring, and this is changing absolutely everything. Now, is it intermediate tires already, or do you just wait a lap? If you're Matty Adam, you have a bit of luxury to choose maybe, and he does stay out. Darren, 10-second time penalty, speeding in the pit lane. Recon speeding in the pit lane as well. Matty Adam now then has the advantage in the rain. He is usually ever so quick, but Tess was incredible in qualifying as well, qualifying 0.05 of a second behind Matty Adam. It is not over, but overtaking is going to be significantly harder from here on out. And as for Luna, the decision to stay out, I don't know if it's quite paid off, but it hasn't been the disastrous decision it could have been. However, will there be a new front wing on that Alpine? No is the question. Or no is the answer to that question. Luna comes out then, one of the first ones to box onto a set of intermediate tires within the midfield battle. But I do think it's just ever slightly too early As for Ray, he might want to cover his bases this lap. Matty and Tess, I don't quite know. But it does look a bit more slidey out there, and we're having a lot of rain this season. Obviously, we had a rain-filled mystery Grand Prix. That was entirely through my design. But here we go then, Matty Adam coming into the pit lane at the end of 24, and Tess is staying out. He's given it his one shot maybe to try to snatch the lead off of Matty Adam, and that's a good call from Tess. He's got 9 seconds on Ray behind. He's got nothing to lose really by doing this. Matty Adam has boxed for wet tyres, and oh my god, what has happened? And that will be the victory surely out of Matty's hands. Why have they put wet tyres on the McLaren? But that might genuinely be bad enough that it has to be switched out. Oh my god, the wet tyre that doesn't work in intermediate conditions will not work in conditions like this. Matty now has got to be... you can just see the frustration there. And he's losing temps and temps and temps. And Tess is going to be screaming out with delight. Matty half a second in a corner. And Tess, with this, surely is bound to win the Hungarian Grand Prix. It's 10 laps to go, but Matty, I genuinely believe, will have to box again. I don't think he's going to be able to do this 10 laps on a set of wet tyres, unless Ray backs Luna up. He's 19 seconds behind, maybe, for Matty. But the chance of the win went from 18 seconds to 21.5 seconds within a couple of sectors. Oh, and that is so frustrating. SSR Halo is out of this race. Will that trigger a safety car? No, it's in the pit lane, which is not allowed by the rules. But it does not matter right now, because Tess is going to be boxing for a set of intermediate tires, and he'll be snatching the lead away from Matty Adam, who comes into the pit lane defeated at the end of lap 25. The battle that Matty controlled for this entire race now ends in travesty for the McLaren driver. But a small mistake, one extra click of the thumb, wet tyres instead of intermediates, and it's ruined an entire race. It's ruined the chance of a race win and potentially a championship fight as well. Matty's still in P3 then. We'll see how the McLarens play this. Ray right now is the better of the two McLarens throughout this Grand Prix. Matty now got to be careful as not to drive angry. But Tess, 7.2 seconds out in front. I'll take a miracle to stop him now. The man who already has a dominant lead in the Drivers' Championship could be on to finish it relatively early at this pace. Squidge has found himself in no man's land for the entirety of this race, and Matty just threw away a chance at a Grand Prix win. Regardless, I think Tess made the right call to stay out an extra lap. So regardless if Matty had put on intermediate tyres when he did, I do think Tess would have been able to overcut him. But it's a big time loss from Tess to Matty Adam with that extra pit stop. 20 seconds separate the two. Oh, and that is heartbreaking. Onto the midfield battle then. Tiger Octave has recovered nicely in this race with that little strategy call. Mr. Wilco, P7, followed by 8th Squidge, 9th Holman, and 10th Mackers. Wildcat is running in P11. Good position for him, but he's unfortunately 20 seconds behind Mackers with no chance of a point. The fastest lap point will have already been cited. That's going to go to Matty Adam, but it's a... I don't think he'll celebrate that one come the end of the race. As for ABT as well, this marks the end of any chance of a good race result that he had. Such heartbreak for a fetch for ABT. He's running such a good race up until the contact with Luna that I'm sure will be investigated, but it doesn't matter. It still cost BT a potential podium even, as that contact is the reason why Ray's in the position that he is. So ABT, I'm sure he just wants this night to end now as well. Noah, talk about another driver who's had a rough go at it It's been a night where a lot of drivers have just had bad experiences throughout. Matty's just started now then, as we have a virtual safety car due to a problem that Kit potentially had an issue. Nice, without a front wing, so that's probably what's triggered this then. That 28 out of 35. I at least got a strategy call right with the rain starting to fall at the end. But it took me a while to notice that one. So then, Holman, oh no, gets a drive-through penalty. A drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. And once again, we have something that just had to happen. Holman has a gap to 1980s Wildcat to survive it, but that takes him out of battle for further points. Kit is out of this race. Squidge goes wide. Kit is abandoned. Kit has abandoned this race at the end then. Unfortunate for him. But as Squidge makes a mistake as well. This race is down to absolute carnage. And it feels like a bit of a farcical race, like the early days of New Era when we had races like this. It's been a very, very long time since we had this much stuff go on. We've had 3 people retire in the pit lane this Grand Prix, which is obviously not what we want to see at all, even though you had a bad race. We do want the commitment of staying in and fighting for every single position, especially now in a race like this where there are positions to be found at the end as well. But it is what it is, nothing to be done about it now. However, this battle is now quite intriguing. We have Mr. Wilco and Tiger Octave. These 2 teams heavily entwined with each other in the Constructors' Championship battle. We also have Red Bull and McLaren fighting each other in the Constructors' Championship. And iWatts right now, and this season is taking too many points for McLaren's liking. And iWatts is doing a mega job as the second driver in that Red Bull team, alongside with Tess. And Mackers gets a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I'm gonna swear again, but for fuck's sake, what is this race at the moment? There's penalties all over the place. There's botched strategy calls, there's spins, there's retirements. What is going on in Hungary? 10-second time penalty for Mackers, and that might give Holman an extra position come the end of this Grand Prix. But however, still, even though all this carnage going out in front, Squidge is able to do nothing other than a P8 at the moment, potential P6 at best. That's for Luna. She's chasing down Matty now. Surely won't have the pace to catch up and overtake. But what a disappointing end to the race almost. But the rain did come down. It would have been very, very interesting to see how this race would have played out in dry conditions with the strategy battle that could have been with Matty and Tess as well. And it came to a very, very disappointing end. So then, now the rain is starting to come down a little bit heavier. Squidge, is he going to have the minerals and is he going to have the balls to send one down the inside of Tiger Octave into turn 1? He's for sure going to try it, and is he going to make that stick? Hard on the exit. Tiger Octave with the wide line does actually have an advantage into the next corner as well. I think he just seizes that position potentially. Still side by side going into the next corner, but then finally Squidge gets the job done. Octave gets a 3-second time penalty for track limit warnings whilst that is ongoing. What is this race? What is this race, man? Oh my goodness. Tiger Octave then running in P8 at the moment. We have the Aston Martin of Noah 48 off circuit as well. As nothing at the moment for Noah seems to be going right either. No front wing, and lapped several times. It's not often you see a driver of Noah statue lapped and completely out of it, but he has been out of it for this entire race. So then, we have Holman 11 seconds ahead of Wildcat, having served that drive-through penalty. Mackers has a 10-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Octave has a 3-second time penalty for breaking track limit regulations. Squidge, however, has found himself into P7, unpenalized, and now is trying to chase down Mr. Wilco for a P6, and what I guess for Squidge will be a respectable result in the end of this Grand Prix. However, it'll still set him back because Tess is now absolutely controlling the pack of this race. Now is the question, Matty, he's 50 points already or something like that behind Tess in the Drivers' Championship. Do the McLaren swap positions at the end of the Grand Prix, or is it futile at the moment? Noah's retired from this session, and that has triggered a virtual safety car. And how has that happened? About a front wing as well. Noah then is out of this race. Virtual safety car is out. Well, it's not a full safety car, I'll give it that, because that would have massively interrupted the flow of the race. Would have given us a couple of exciting laps at the end though, but let's just be glad we didn't have to deal with any of that carnage. I have a feeling we're going to have to deal with a relatively high amount of other things come the end of this Grand Prix. Tess now leading by a commanding margin. Ray in P2 is going to come home P2, I'm pretty sure, as well, with Matty in P3. No one really fighting for position bar Squidge and Mr. Wilco, so we're gonna follow that battle probably until the end of the race at this point, unless anything really interesting happens. Oh, and what looked to be such a promising Hungarian Grand Prix about 10 laps in has turned into absolute chaos. And I'm at this position right now where I'm lost for words. I don't really know what to say. I don't really know how to defend what has been going on this race. It has been it's been poor driving standards from a relative amount of drivers. It's been, we've had weird penalties being dished out, we've had weird incidents, weird battles, weird retirements as well. But now it is coming to an end. 2 laps to go at the end of this one, so about 2.5, something like that. As Tess is absolutely dominating the field at the moment. 6.7 seconds out in front of Ray W25, who's on his way to yet another podium. I believe it's for 5th podium this season, if he can make a stick, which I'm pretty sure he will. Just thinking, 25 plus 10, that's 35. 18 plus 15 is not enough, and right now Red Bull are actually extending their lead in the Constructors' Championship as well by about 1 point, I think, with Matty's fastest lap being counted in there as well. Iwat's running 9.3 seconds ahead of Mr. Wilco, so unlikely to drop that position. Iwat's has been a master of this season, just shutting down races when he's in a good position, just finding himself in absolute no man's land, but just driving and bringing home those points. That is the kind of driving that wins you championships. So kudos, hats off to Iwat for what he is doing this season. It's worth worth commending. Luna as well has had a very, very good evening, up from a very poor qualifying in wet weather standards. But has had a decent Grand Prix overall, with half a front wing missing as well. It would have been fun to see what she could have accomplished with a whole front wing. Just that extra bit of downforce. Could she have challenged at front? We shall never know, unfortunately, with 2 laps remaining. As Tess now is just taking it in, and he is nearing his 2nd ever championship, becoming the 2nd driver to win 2 championships in New Era. However, not in a row. That accomplishment is still waiting for at least next season, you would imagine, because this race result is really going to set a tone. It's going to extend the test advantage another 10 points over Matty Adam, another about 20 points over Squidge 2017. You would imagine it, not mathematically, but realistically, after this race, it is championship done and dusted, unless Tess have some absolutely abysmal end to the season, which could happen. We shall wait and see. But right now, Tess with an iron grip and one hand on the trophy already. We are entering the final lap of the Hungarian Grand Prix, lap 35 out of 35. Just waiting to confirm what we've known for quite some time now. The exciting finish that we were promised didn't quite happen. We didn't get a battle at the end, which I really thought we would for quite some time there. But Tess kept his cool in the weather transition, did everything he needed to, and he was rewarded for it. Very, very well done to Tess. Now, so Matty, when those wet tyres were put on his car, probably did end up doing the right thing by coming in and switching them out as well. Gonna come home in P3, another podium for Matty. It's a double podium for McLaren. It's damage limitation really for the Constructors' Championship as well, because Iwat just been that good. Squidge is unlikely to be able to pass Mr. Wilco now with less than a lap to go. The main overtaking point that he had, maybe something on traction if Mr. Wilco just struggles a little bit, but it'll be much, much to ask. So then, it was a different race than we thought we were going to have. Tess looked out of his depth for a majority of the time on the dry tires, but as soon as the rain came down, it just clicked for him, and everything went right. And it is a season like this that Tess is having, that you need everything to go right for oneself. Tess wins the Hungarian Grand Prix. He places his left hand on the championship trophy, and he takes another win this season in dominant fashion. Ray W25, yet another podium. Matty, he's gonna be more unhappy with this podium than I think he's ever been before, as he does get across the line there, but smashing his car into the wall in frustration. Luna comes home for another P4, and some good result for her. Iwat, what a job he's doing. P5 on the road, followed by Mr. Wilco, who's going to come home in that 6th place. Squidge 2017 did everything he could, but the championship hope, it is going to be difficult. But P7 on the road, Tiger Octave comes home in 8th place. Well done to him, and a decent points haul as well. Mac is in P9, and Holman will come home in P10. Final points finisher of the day: 1980s Wildcat, ABT, Darren Style, and Recon. Last of the finishing drivers. Wildcat will be last across the line. P11 will be frustrating for him. One more position up, and it would have been the points, but that is unfortunately the name of the game. Top 10 awards point, P11 unfortunately doesn't, but Wildcat is showing the signs of improvements, and I'm sure we will see him up into points within not too long. But it is heartbreak for Matty Adam. It's delight for Tess, as now surely he can start smelling his 2nd title in 3 years, doing what only Djokovic has done so far. In season 6 and season 8, if I'm not mistaken. Something along those lines. And Tess bringing out Matty's signature Vamos at the end of the race as well, just to add the insult to injury. Fastest lap though goes to Matty Adam, and at least a solidary point to the McLaren driver. But 25 points to Tess, 18 and 15 to McLaren, but still advantage Red Bull throughout this weekend. Next week, then, we are heading to Belgium for the Spa-Francorchamps Grand Prix. 22 laps around there only, which is going to be very, very interesting. And a mandatory 2-stop race. So a bit of strategic battle that's going to be ongoing, so you don't want to miss out on that one. Until then, thank you very much for staying with us throughout this night. We'll see you once again in 7 days when NEF1 returns. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one, stay safe, and peace out.